Hey guys, this is Tyler Shorsted, your instructor for Stat 2070, Section 500. I just want to do a walkthrough Canvas, my stat lab, and the syllabus. I'm going to try to keep this short, hopefully less than 20 minutes, but we'll see. I think it's really important to watch all of it, even if you feel really confident about it. I will probably add critiques and part of the syllabus that highlight some things that are really important. So without further ado, I'm going to kind of go through and screen share with you guys so that way you can see what I see. And now we should be at the LCCC homepage. And from here, you should be able to click My LCCC. Once you click that, you'll be asked to sign in. Once you sign in, you'll be able to go through and click Canvas. Once you're on Canvas, comes through. And you'll see we're in Canvas now. And this will be similar to what you see. You'll see your dashboard, and here you can see all the courses that you might be taking right now or this semester or in the past even. And you can see our class has a giant schnauzer laying on a chair, looking very sad or tired. That's my dog, and we'll click that class, Stat 2070. And as you see, this is going to be our class homepage. And every week I'll put the most current announcements right here under this section right here where I highlighted. You'll see that every Sunday I will post that, and basically just kind of brings you up to speed, lets you know what's going on. I may even post it earlier or a little bit later, but basically tells you what's going to happen for the week, what kind of reading might be due, what kind of posts might be done, or whether the exam is that week or the next week. And I'm trying to give you a heads up just as a reminder. And then you can find that same announcement under the announcements tab right here. And then right here is the click here for the syllabus. We'll walk through that here in a moment, but again, you can click the announcements. You're going to see a whole ton of announcements here right now, but that's because we're in the faculty view. So you'll see all this, and these are just kind of preloaded ones I have, similar to what I've done before, but we're going to click the student view, not new announcement, but the student view right here. Try one more time. There we go. Too anxious to click. And now we're in the student view. So if we click things like announcements here, you're going to see that basically there's no announcements yet. That's because the class hasn't started. Also, same thing with like assignments, for example. If I click the assignments right now, you'll see that there are assignments, but they're not available until August 21st. This introduction post is important. You're going to need to do that so you can stay in the class. We'll walk through that here in a second. But again, they're going to be locked until August 21st, the first day of class at 10 a.m. Discussions is where you'll be able to do all your discussion posts. Right now, you can see that there's one. It's the introduction post. I'm going to tell you it's locked. You can't go in it, so heads up on that. The files is going to be important because this is where I might post things like additional tools that you might use to succeed in the class, such as activities that I do in my face-to-face class that I think are very beneficial for you guys in terms of learning the material. So for like harder chapters like 7, 8, 9, and 10, there will be activities like this. I actually have video solutions posted for them as well. So you should do them on your own or maybe walk through them. That'll be very beneficial. I have quizzes posted. These are quizzes I give in my previous face-to-face classes. The idea is to maybe you guys take them on your own, see how you do. Again, I have video solutions for them. Sometimes I have the solutions with them, and you can check yourself. These slides right here are the slides that I use in my face-to-face class. There's no video recorded with them, but they're used for reference to some of the videos I might give you for problems or examples that maybe would be beneficial. Now, if you notice, there's tables and formulas and guides. This is really important. The formulas and guides are what you would find in your textbook. I would print these off if you can, and then just have them as reference documents for when you're working on your homework or doing anything. You'll find them to be very beneficial as we go through the semester. Now, the syllabus brings you back to the whole entire syllabus again. So we're here again, and you can see all that information. Now, if you scroll through here, you can find past and present announcements, right? And announcements, I said that before. Course schedule. This gives you our roadmap of where we're going in this semester. Now, I've done due diligence in telling you when the exams will be. We're only going to have 4 exams, so you're going to want to make sure that you can get to a testing center to take those, okay? That's the one requirement where you're going to have to travel to a place or be somewhere. You can't take them online. I'm old-fashioned. I like having paper copies so I can see your work versus an online electronic version where I don't see any work and I can't give you partial credit. I think it's actually to your advantage, so I hope that you see that as well. I'll talk more about that here in the syllabus. And then course summary, you can click these as well if you want to do any homework. So if you wanted to do homework chapter 1, right? I think it's going to tell you it's locked. Yep, it is. So we'll go back to home. I'm going to leave the student view so that we can get into my math lab. Also up here on the to-do, you can click the assignments we have. When you get done with them, you can click them and say, oh, I'm done with that one, done with that one, you know. So we'll leave student view. And we'll go to My Lab and Mastering. We click it. And you're probably going to see one like this. Browser cookies are disabled. This is a common problem. What you can easily do is just do a Google search for help. So if you do Google, but do Pearson, My Labs, and questioning are right there. You can see it's in my search history, and just click it. And how to enable cookies. So you have this issue, you can go right through it. You might have this issue, so plan to maybe check that out. So for My Labs and Mastering, if I want to do, for example, all assignments, you'll see this come up. This is where you can find your assignments as well. Just a heads up, this view available sample tests and quizzes, those are not mine, okay? Those are the publishers. So keep in mind, studying or spending a lot of time on those might not be the best use of time. My questions are very similar, but they're sometimes worded different. The quizzes and activities I have posted under the files would be probably more beneficial. You can do the study plan. I know some students in the past have done it and they found it very beneficial. So keep that in mind. So that's where you can find them. Obviously right now you're gonna see there's no homework. Well, that's because it's not open yet. It'll be open here soon enough. So if we return back here and we're at the home page, let's go through the syllabus. And again, I'm trying to keep this short and concise for you guys. So click here, should come up with document viewer. And you're thinking right now, 1 to 9 pages, oh my gosh. Don't worry, the last 2 pages are just kind of like the LCCC addendum, kind of basic things that you need to keep in mind. And I'm not going to read this to you all the way through. I'm just going to tell you about some of the key parts, okay? Right, this is an A16 class. It's online. This link right here I think is really important. If you haven't taken an online class before, I'd recommend going through and reading this. And even if you have taken one, this might be beneficial in terms of helping you succeed better in the class. There's some surveys like time management, computer skills. So, you know, if you have issues, you can troubleshoot that. I would recommend going through it. It's really good. It can be helpful in terms of having self-reflection on your own ability to time manage. I know that I've taken 2 online classes before when I was younger in my undergrad, and then during the summer when I was taking 2 part-time, working 2 part-time jobs, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. So you got to keep in mind, plan accordingly. So anyways, that's enough of that. The first day of class, Wednesday, August 21st. The last day of class will be December 13th. You can find all kinds of other important LCCC academic-related dates on the academic calendar here. Again, my name is Tyler Chorsted. My last name is harder to pronounce than it probably looks. I have an office here on the Albany County campus, ACC 213. And I also have an office over at UW, at the University of Wyoming, in the business building in 273. I will post my office hours in the next coming weeks. Sometimes I like to make sure that I know where my face-to-face classes will be and kind of the demand for that. This is my telephone number. This is my email address. The email address is probably the best way of contacting me. Generally speaking, I try to return emails within probably a day. I can be very quick. But on the weekends, I might be busy doing something else similar to you guys, so I may or may not be checking. I'm usually kind of not a workaholic, but definitely like to get stuff done, and I don't like to have things hang over my head, so I'll probably email you back very quickly. Phone calls are a little harder. If you leave me a voicemail in this office, I might be working at the UW office, and so I might not know that I got a voicemail from you. So email might be the best way of getting a hold of me. When in doubt, always email me, try to let me know what's going on. The first day of class, I already talked about it. The last day to drop without getting a W on your transcript and getting 100% refund back is September 4th, okay? September 11th is the end of the 50% refund, and then October 15th is midterm. And finally, the last day to withdraw from the course is October 30th. So some key things to keep in mind. If you forget those dates, or if you're taking a B14 or another different time frame class, you can click this and find out the academic calendar as well. So also keep in mind that if you do change or drop classes, it can impact your financial aid situation and your time to graduation. So just keep that in mind. Course description. We're going to study basically statistical concepts used in social science applications. We're going to identify types of data. We're going to do descriptive and inferential statistics. We'll calculate and interpret descriptive measures of data sets. We'll explore the role of probability distributions in statistical inferences. We'll construct confidence intervals, conduct and interpret 1 and 2 group hypothesis tests. We'll hopefully learn the appropriate techniques to apply when we're doing this kind of evaluations. So this is important right here. This is the instructional materials to be used. You need to sign up for my stat lab. You're going to do that through Canvas. What's so nice though is you do not need a course ID. Notice I say that right here. You do not need a course ID as it's linked through Canvas. So please don't email asking me for one unless it's some weird circumstance where you've talked to Pearson and they say, we need to know this or whatever. But generally speaking, they'll probably know all that information on the back end on their part. One of the things you do need to have access to is a computer with high-speed internet, right? So you can do your homework because a lot of it's going to be online. So if you don't have internet at home or a computer, you're going to want to spend a lot of time at the public library or LCCC's library. We have a brand new library at the London Library over in Cheyenne. The Albany County campus has also gotten a renovation itself. It's really wonderful. Optional, but I would highly recommend this, is the hard copy textbook. I use the older edition because I like the fact that it's cheaper for you guys. I think you can find this 12th edition right now. I just Googled it, I thought, and I think it was like 15 bucks. It's really cheap. And it's a great book to have for reference in the future, especially if you're going to do anything after this class that might involve statistics. Like I said, older editions may work as well. You can use the 11th edition as well. So just keep that in mind. It can be very helpful. You do get an e-text, so don't feel like you have to buy the text. But for taking exams, I allow hard copy textbooks to be with you. Now, that doesn't mean you should try to read the text while you're taking an exam, right? Obviously. This is optional but strongly encouraged. I've had students in the past complain that I didn't require it. So let me make sure this is clear. It is not required to own a TI-84 or TI-83 calculator, but it is strongly recommended. You can borrow them, though, from the library. So if you don't want to buy one, or if you, for whatever reason, you can borrow it from the library. I know the Albany County campus loans them out on a 2 to 3 hour window, so you can leave a driver's license photo, and they'll, loan it out to you while you're at the testing center. Or you can work in the library with it and get to become useful with it. You can also use StatCrunch through my stat lab to do some of this. But for exams, you'll always be able to use a calculator. You may not be able to use StatCrunch always with the taking at the exam. So just a reference, a heads up for you guys. Additional requirements. This is really important. This will be twice in the syllabus. One other important requirement is that you need to know that you're going to have to go to a testing center 4 times, right, in the semester to take a proctored exam. Again, I'm old school. I like hard copy paper. I can like to see where your work is. I like to know what you're doing, thinking. I can give you partial credit sometimes, okay? Plan accordingly. It's in bold for a reason, right? I tell you when the exams are coming, so don't email me on Friday saying, oh, I forgot to take the exam this week. Please plan accordingly, okay? Course competencies. We're going to identify types of data. You're going to apply appropriate graphical, numerical, descriptive, and inferential techniques, construct confidence intervals, formulate and test 1 group and 2 group hypothesis tests, determine correlation and regression values, also be able to interpret those correlation and regression values, form hypothesis tests and correlation and regression values, form tests for independence and goodness of fit through contingency table analysis. 9, we'll calculate probability values for discrete distributions and continuous distributions, and finally, apply appropriate computer software to perform these statistical procedures. What's so cool about it is knowing those 11 will be so beneficial through whatever class you take in the future. I know right now you're thinking, why won't I ever do hypothesis testing? You'd be amazed, okay? So that's in there. It's part of the regression project. It has all those components in it, so just a heads up. So attendance and course drop policy. Attendance in a face-to-face class is determined by what? Physically attending. Well, this is an online class, so you're not going to physically attend the class. So the best way that I can track it is by you completing assignments or submissions, okay? Logging into Canvas will not be enough. So if you do that, but don't do the submission that I need you to have done, the introduction post, you are at risk of being dropped from the course for non-attendance, okay? So make sure you complete that by Monday, August 26th at 8 p.m. It's the introduction post. It's under the discussions. It's also on your to-do list, okay? It's everywhere out there. So that's it for that. Class cancellation. If for whatever reason, right, you're like, why are we gonna talk about this? This is online class. We'll never cancel class. Well, I know last semester we had some snowstorms and some bad weather when students are gonna go in and take the proctored exams. If that happens, please do not try to drive on icy roads just to make a test. If it ends up, you were planning on taking it Friday and a snowstorm came, I would rather have had you take it on Thursday, but I understand sometimes you can't and you plan for Friday. If that happens and class is canceled or courses or classes are canceled through LCCC or whatever it might be, please email me and we'll be able to make arrangements for maybe the following Monday or whatever. But anyways, getting started in this course, read this very closely, okay? Read all of it. It's got great information in it, okay? Tell you all the assignments are online, okay? They're all there. Discussion posts will all be completed through Canvas, okay? I generally update the grades on Tuesdays, okay? So anytime you finish your assignment on Monday night, boom, I will update that in Canvas the next day, okay? So you know. This is important. If you have any trouble registering for My Stat Lab, accessing the course or anything, you need to let me know sooner than later, okay? I would recommend that you try to get registered for it within the first 3 days of this class opening, okay? So by Friday. And then if you have issues, let me know right away. So that way we can get it resolved. So about the course. The nature of an online course requires a significant amount of independent work, okay? You, the student, is provided with structure, resources, guidance, and feedback for learning the course material. The student, however, is responsible for completing the assignments on time, completing the readings, watching course videos, and making inquiries as needed to complete the course, okay? All I'm trying to say is it's on you, okay? You've got to be diligent. I'm not going to be able to push you along as if I saw you in class like, hey, Billy, I need you to be turning in that assignment, or Sally, why you need to make up that quiz, whatever. All work is asynchronous, meaning you are not required to be online at any specific time, okay? So you can be here anytime. Again, assignments though are due on Mondays by 10 p.m. following week from when I make the announcement, okay? Here is the nitty-gritty grading, detailed explanation, right? Assignments are completed in My Stat Lab, due by Monday, 10 p.m. You can see the due dates in My Stat Lab. Those are going to be the accurate ones. Sometimes they get transposed or mixed up in Canvas, but they shouldn't, okay? But they will be there. If you do a problem, you get it wrong, you can have 3 tries to redo it and get it correct, okay? Any assignment that's completed after the due date, you get 50% of that earned points. So let's say you had a really stressful week, you weren't able to get the homework done, you do it the next week, you're going to be able to get 50% of it, and it's still worth getting it versus getting a 0. The other thing that is really nice is I've published all of it, so you can work ahead. So if you know you have a stressful week coming up, you can get it all done, right, before it comes up. I know that sounds really optimistic, but you could do it. I put this note in here because I had a student complain once in the past about their grade book telling them they had 100% and they'd only done 3 out of the 10 assignments. And it was like, well, technically you're missing 7 out of the 10, so you would actually have a 30%. I just put this in there as a reminder, you know, using percentages and know how they take. So just be aware, that's all. Exams are 60% of your grade, so plan accordingly. These are really important. Do not miss these. You cannot miss an exam and, well, you could theoretically pass the class, but I would not try that. I would definitely come take the exams. My exams can be kind of challenging. You get 120 minutes. Sometimes they give you a little bit more. Again, they're open notes, so I would recommend taking good notes on a lot of stuff you do. It's also open booked for hard copy text for all the exams. Sometimes I'll allow e-text. I don't like it sometimes because I know you guys can do Control F and search for things, and you think you can learn it that quickly, but odds are my questions are scripted from me, so they're not kind of textbook scripted, so it might be a little harder doing that. Late exams are only completed with instructor approval. You know, tough circumstances, whatever it might be. Exam proctoring, okay? It is your responsibility to arrange a proctor, okay? It is also your responsibility to plan accordingly. Are you getting tired of that phrase? I think you're going to get very tired of that phrase by the end of the semester. Maybe you'll use it to other people. If you're over in Cheyenne, your proctor will be the LCCC exam lab. Most of you guys might be familiar with it. I'd recommend, if you've never taken it before or never been there, maybe try to find it the day before so you know exactly where it is. It's not stressful. You are comfortable. And I can't stress that enough. You want to have the environment for where you're going to take a test, not be stressing. If you're at the Albany County campus or Laramie or nearby the Albany County campus, you can click these links and they'll tell you all about the testing centers and their hours of operation. So that's the thing. Plan accordingly. Check their hours of operation, okay? If you're not a local student, though, in Cheyenne or Laramie, wherever it might be, you're going to have to find your own proctor. And I'm going to have to verify or vet them that they are correct, who they are, and that they can be a proctor. Note, spouses, family members, friends, bosses, coworkers, other students, probably not going to work, okay, as a proctor. If you're in the military, usually you might have a testing center on base, whichever it might be, and so we can correspond that. Again, you need to let me know by probably the second week of class who your proctor might be if you're not going to use Cheyenne or Laramie, okay? The final regression project is 5% of your grade. What's so cool about the regression project, it takes into account all the course competencies. And I think it's a pretty cool project. I will let you know about it mid-semester so you can start working on it, and it's not one big project that you get in a 1 week window to finish it, okay? So discussion posts are 10% of your grade. They are super easy. I hope you realize they're really easy. All you got to do is go in the discussion board post. A lot of times I do podcast posts, which are kind of new, different. I don't like the idea of write 3 responses to someone else's post, you know? I grew up taking an online class like that. It's not always the most beneficial. I think it's very tedious work. I'd rather it be something interesting. I think you're going to find the podcast really interesting and the freedom that I give you. So, and late homework, you can read that. Grading, I do whole grades. You don't get an A-, you get an A, you're get a B, you get a C, you get a D. So if you're on that borderline of like an 88, work hard. Also to give you a heads up, I have curved in the past. Sometimes anywhere from 1% to 5%, depending on how I felt some of the students did in terms of grades, but it's not guaranteed. So final breakdown. Again, one more reminder, grades will be synced on Canvas weekly on Tuesdays, okay? So if you're like, email me on Wednesday and you're like, I did the homework on Wednesday night, how come it's not uploaded yet? Because I haven't got around to it yet. So just slow down. It'll get updated. Check it, wait for Tuesday. But with that being said, still be diligent, make sure that it's accurate after that first Tuesday that things are uploading. I know there's been problems sometimes in the past, but so. All right, so that's a lot of the information so far. Hopefully you've been following along. I think it's worth it, and hopefully you've been reading. And so, tentative course schedule right here. Again, this is the heads up. We won't have all these discussion posts, FYI. That's a lot of discussion posts. Last semester, I think we did 6. So I have 8 on here, and we'll do 6 probably out of them. So they're just designed to be fun. Try to get you to read some statistical articles, listen to some podcasts, come up with your own stuff. It just have fun. That's all. So that's it. Basically, this is the LCCC syllabus addendum. You can read through this on your own. Again, I don't want this to just be me dictating it. But one thing I would want to talk about right here, tutoring. This can be a challenging class. Tutoring is a really good option for a lot of students that I think can be tough. So there is face-to-face tutoring. There's even online tutoring that is available. And again, I will post office hours probably in the next 2 weeks. I've had a lot of students that were at the Albany County campus that would almost see me more often than my face-to-face class students, which was really nice. And they did exceptionally well. So in the class. That's it. Email me if you have questions. Update that. I think that's about it. I look forward to a great semester. I'm trying to make sure I didn't forget anything for you. I'll publish this class here next week. And obviously right now, this is Friday, so it's the week before. I'm just making sure you guys know it. And that's it. And you'll be able to find this video here as well. Look forward to a great semester. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and that's it.